What's going on, everybody? Kennybombx is in the building, and 2K dropped a massive patch for WWE 2K25 last week, but it looks like it wasn't enough because they hopped right back in the lab and hit us with patch 1.08 this week. But what does this patch fix? Today, we'll go through the patch notes, but as we know, the patch notes don't always list everything. So as we discover new things, I will be making another video to cover those as well. But before we get into today's video, you guys can help me out by dropping a like on this one. Just don't forget to smash that subscribe button, especially if you don't want to miss any updates on WWE 2K25. Now let's get into it.
Run, boy, they coming on.
Alright, so before we get started, big thanks to Status, who usually provides the patch notes for these videos. And as y'all can see, the update isn't as beefy as it was last time, but it's still a pretty substantial update. So let's jump in and see what was fixed in patch 1.08. The first thing we have here is the thing we all love. Under General, we have stability and performance improvements. Now, they don't ever go any deeper than that with the general fixes. Stability kind of speaks for itself, makes the game more stable, but when it comes to performance improvements, I don't see them bumping up the frame rates at all. So could this be things like the steel steps actually responding to the wrestlers' bodies? If so, then maybe we should look for those goodies every time around. There's another thing there as well that I'll take a look at the end of this video that I think fell under performance with the previous patch. But moving on to the next one, we have online. Now, this is a pretty big one because I know Unsanctioned TV has been on 2K's bumper about the online experience we've been getting this year, and some of you guys in the comment section have been on my bumper about it, saying I'm scared to talk about the online issues because I'm scared of 2K. Well, I'll let you guys know that I have absolutely no affiliation with 2K on the WWE side of things. I just don't play online. That's why I don't talk about it, and I leave it to people who do play online like Unsanctioned TV. But we got some fixes here, so let's see what was fixed in this patch. So the first thing they have here for online players, they address reported concerns of entrance music and dialogue failing to play. See, if this is something that happened on my end, I wouldn't even notice because I have to play in creator mode most of the time and the entrance music never plays. Speaking of such, I wish they gave us some type of generic music that we can hear on the menus because all we really get is menu donks. If you know, you know. Moving on to the next one, address reported concerns of incorrect orders being displayed in a Royal Rumble match. Now that's a good catch, and that's a good fix, and that's a big win for the online players, but the Royal Rumble match has had some more pretty big issues, so hopefully, if they see these issues, they know about the other issues as well, and they get those fixed as soon as possible. And unfortunately, the last thing we have here for the online players, they address reported concerns of players encountering a game session error after playing consecutive matches. Random errors are never good. Sometimes I play in MyFaction, and it sucks, especially in the matches where they make me use random cards and I get a good one. Sometimes when you reveal the card and try to go into the match, they say, "Whoa, your last match ended too fast, buddy. You got to go back and pick another card because we can't find your opponent." Then you end up with a rank 59 Lash Legend. Like, bro, random errors are never good. Now listen, I tried to do the online thing as I do every year when the game comes out, and I know it's not good. We were able to get 1 versus 1 matches to play pretty smoothly, but if you go any further than that, sometimes the pin meter doesn't pop up, and sometimes it just quite frankly kicks you out of the match. So I know online needs work, but I think they were intentional by only letting you do 1 versus 1 matches on the island because they know that's what works. Unfortunately, I don't see us getting a stable online system until next year. Maybe. But the last patch was good to Universe Mode players, and we actually got more updates to Universe Mode in this patch, so let's see what they're hitting us with this time. So for Universe Mode, they address reported concerns of empty match cards being generated. They also address reported concerns of announced cash-ins being usable after already using them. They address reported concerns of the momentum tracker not tracking properly. They address reported concerns of superstars appearing invisible during rivalry cutscenes. Maybe they fixed Booker T's knee pads where they're not invisible anymore. And they also addressed reported concerns of superstars not being movable in tag team divisions when editing ranks. So how do y'all feel about Universe Mode as it is right now? Is the mode where it needs to be, or do y'all think it still needs work? If y'all want to see more updates in Universe Mode, let me know what they are in the comment section and maybe we'll point them out in another video. But let's go ahead and move on to the next section. And this next one is actually a pretty big one because I think what we have with Create a Superstar is actually amazing. 2K doesn't get enough credit for it because people are getting in here creating wrestlers who look exactly like their real selves. So to the people who like to get online and bash other people who buy the game just to create wrestlers, get a life. These people are the reason you can keep your Universe Mode updated all year. So jumping into the create fixes, they address reported concerns of more parts than allowed being usable when randomizing than... That's it. Okay, so after further research, it's a typo. Not on status in because it's the same on SmackDown Hotels. We're going to blame 2K for this one. They meant when randomizing them. The next one says, address reported concerns of locked attire parts not displaying their proper thumbnail. I actually saw a pretty funny thing with the locked items. Like they would blur them out so you couldn't see what was locked. But if you highlight the item and look at your created wrestler, the item shows up clearly on the wrestler. So what are we hiding here? They also addressed reported concerns of randomized part colors persisting after reverting the changes. They addressed reported concerns of incorrect motions being assigned. Hopefully that's not for like create an entrance. I hated creating entrances since WWF added to it on Nintendo 64. So if I'm setting something one way and then it's different and I have to go back in and change it again, I would be very annoyed. They also address reported concerns of logo positions resetting in Create an Arena. So that's actually everything for the Create updates, Create a Wrestler and Create an Arena. If there are things they still need to work on, as always guys, let me know in the comment section. Now we move on to gameplay. So for the gameplay, they address reported concerns of DIY Titantron movies playing incorrectly. You guys are really big on those Titantrons, so I love to see them get all of these things fixed as possible. They also address reported concerns of match options persisting after the match has ended. Match options persisting after a match has ended. What does that even mean? Let's just move on to the next one. They address reported concerns of female superstars being unable to participate in a Money in the Bank if they were cruiserweights. Another thing I have not ran into, but I don't use any cruiserweight women anyway. I only use Jada Parker, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Becky Lynch when I'm forced to in MyFaction. Speaking of MyFaction, that is where we get our final update for the patch notes. So for MyFaction, they address reported concerns of icons for various mods and stipulations not appearing. They also need to make the stipulations more clear in World Tour because sometimes I can't start the match and I don't know why. But speaking of World Tour, it looks like the new area still has not been added, at least based on these patch notes. We'll check that here in a moment, but there is something else pretty big that was added, so let's jump in and check that out as well. As you guys can see here, if you bought the Bloodline Edition or the Deadman Edition, Elite Undertaker is now available. I've never been a big fan of these action figures in the 2K games. I know some people love them though, so if you want to play with that Undertaker, he is now available. Nothing you need to do, just come to your roster and you'll be able to see him in there. Now, another thing I want to point out that was actually changed in the last patch, and this is what I was referring to earlier, they actually made some changes to the island as well. Well, one big change in particular, but they actually made the runtime faster. And that does feel a lot better. Previously, I said it felt a little bit floaty and he was just like not moving fast enough. Now, as y'all can see, he does run a lot faster. I still wish they would add like a skateboard or something to get us to move around even quicker than he does now. But I mean, I don't know, maybe this will make me come back in here and finish the island because it just felt so sluggish last time I came in here. So that's actually it for right now. I'm sure we'll find more in this patch, and as we do, I'll come back and show you guys what was updated. But thank y'all for tuning into this video. Don't forget to drop a like on it and smash that subscribe button if you have not already. Bomb Squad, let's get to that.